Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. We are going to move to another session as we promised about fighting climate change issues, and this time with a big question. It's a big question. Are green building enough to fight climate change? Yes or no? We are going to discover that, and we are going to answer to this big question, and bringing up the solution and bringing up the consequences and the causes of this concept or this problem. So let's begin about start about tackling some environmental challenges because it's climate change. It's an environmental crisis, and we have to tackle the source of this uh, the source of this problem. So the first source is the environmental limit. What means environmental limit? We know that green building work to slow the effect of climate change through even their energy efficiency or the promotion of green or sustainable communities. So, but our environment is reaching its limit. We are reaching the limit. The current state of the climate and the current state of the planet is troubling at best. So the average global temperature has warmed, and there is many snow and ice levels has diminished, and the sea level also has risen. So all these environmental challenges, there are no sign of this trend slowing down. There is no action are slowing down all these environmental problems. Endless significant action is taken to curb greenhouse gas emission, but it's not enough. There is a statistic about United Nation that has called for countries to achieve net zero by 2050. It's a strategy. It's a long-term strategy for 2050. We hope that many countries, not many countries, we hope that all the global planet can contribute to that. That meaning by then any emission will need to be balanced by removing the carbon dioxide from the air. So to make to decrease the limitation of greenhouse gas emission, and also to save the environment and the planet. This is the limitation of our environment. Another issue is the urbanization, the population. We know that the population is rising day after day, year after year, and from decades. Urbanization is making things worse. And there is reports and statistics that prove that issue. So by 2050, there is an additional 2.5 billion people are expected to move to a city. This is very huge. So United Nation has reported that in their annual report. So this is in addition to the fact that almost half of the world population already lives in cities. So the cities are making things worse for the climate change. So not only are cities at risk, but the impact of extreme heat events and also the public health, the rising tides, all this issue are exacerbating the problem and making things worse. So, despite the fact that cities cover less than 2% of the Earth, they account for almost 3/4 of the world's carbon dioxide. And this is very huge from global final energy use. So, this is a significant portion of total greenhouse gas emission. When we say that almost 3/4 of the world carbon dioxide, this is very important. This is very impactful. We have to make things. We have to make effective action and sustainable action to decrease this negative impact. So this is the second issue. But what's the solution? There is many risks, many challenges, many environmental problem. The earth is disturbing. The global warming is reaching 1.5 degree between 2030 and 2052. And there is a statistic that it will be reaching 3 degree in 21,000 based on current national government commitment. And this is also a scientifical and statistical proven reports. So what's the solution? What's the solution to fight climate change? To fight these problems, these current problems that are making things worse and increasing year after year? The solution is simple. If we integrate smart cities, this is the main solution. If the global countries or the global earth integrate smart cities, we can really fight, not only reduce, we can really fight and end climate change. But it's gonna be global, not some countries contribute to this concept. So smart city are not only the part of the solution, but it's the solution. Smart city is becoming increasingly important. They are becoming increasingly important to combat global climate change crisis. And the smart city, they are uniquely have to tackle numerous sustainability tactics, from greener commercial building to electrifying public transit. We're using also the Internet of Things, the IoT, to connect and better understand the major contributor to carbon emission. So smart city are the solution, the unique solution. But how to implement this solution? There is difference in many ways, difference in population, in area, but the most important difference is the area, the urban area and the rural area. Let's review some concepts. What's the difference between the two, and why we can't implement smart city in the two in the two types of area? The first concept is urban area. Urban area, the impact of the environment is different than rural area. We know that there is very a big difference. People in urban environment consume much more foods and consume much more goods and products than rural population. So rural population are very calm, are very natural, but they will not live natural as long as they are environmental limitation. So they also own more cars per capita in a rural in urban area and use more energy. The increased energy consumption creates heat island in some places that contribute to changing local temperature and also the weather patterns. So when we discuss this issue at a micro level dimension, the buildings in cities consume a huge portion of energy and electricity, and this is very big impact, negative impact to climate change. So which is significant because the process of making energy is one of the largest sources of greenhouse gas emission, and this is worldwide. We know that the energy is the primary and the first big amount of carbon emission. So in urban area, there is much more negative impact than rural area. So despite these challenges, despite all these challenges, action is being taken one by one at every level of society, and there is many movement that they are raising awareness and fostering sensitivity to combat climate change. And the one action that is taking place at the micro level is green buildings. This is the most important, impactful solution, green buildings. That's why we are relating in our session green building to climate change issues. Green building work to slow the effect of climate change. And this is the role of green building. They are here to work to reduce and to fight climate change. And because this is the big question, because green buildings, through their energy efficiency and through their promotion of a greater green and sustainable community, they can impact a huge amount of the source of greenhouse gas emission worldwide. So the question, yes, green buildings are the solution, and they have a huge impact on climate change. So let's review what's a green building. We know that green building is a combination of health and well-being, and also it's how constructed and operated and maintained the building to minimize the impact on the environment and provide the healthy work environment. And there is many things including green building: reducing water and energy consumption. 2, minimizing greenhouse gas emission. 3, using eco-friendly building materials. 4, decreasing landfill waste. This is very important. 5, being located to shrink commute times also. 6, encouraging renewable transportation use. 7, encouraging the use of Internet of Things connectivity, the IoT. And 8, enhancing the natural environment with implementing trees and green roof and community gardens, especially spaces, green spaces. So this is the solution. This is how green building can help to combat climate change from the micro level to micro level. So, as we said, that contribute to a greener and community and raise and foster sensitivity and awareness toward climate change, toward fighting this global issue. And also this is including the Sustainable Development Goals, 11 and 13 and 5 and 8, many goals that are tackling green building. So I want to move to an example of case study that I have chosen. Why I have chosen the case study? It's an example to raise awareness and to make people have an eco mindset, and how can building contribute to a greener and happy community and happy and greener infrastructure. This case have a special thing because it's the first net zero building, energy building, and it is located in Singapore, in National University of Singapore, Kent Campus, within the School of Design and Environment. It's a school of environment, and they study also environment. But the most important thing that this building is built with sustainable criteria and environmental criteria to a sustainable building. It's a 100% green building. That's why I choose this case study in Singapore. And we know Singapore, it's a city of green. It's the green city, the green of technology, of innovation, of green infrastructure, of smart infrastructure. And they have a green justice. They implement green justice within their communities. So, why green building standards do not go far enough? Through this case study of this green building in Singapore, we are going to tackle two main things Why green building? It's not enough. We know green building can help reduce climate change, and a very good and very great amount of contribution, but it's not enough. Green building only, it's not enough. Why? Because there is two main issues: the green rating tools, and also the second issue is the problem of air conditioning and design building. This is the two main issue. So I'm going to start by the first issue. It's about rating system. We know that many rating system all over the world, they rate green building. I want to set some example like LEED in America and USA rating system, like KISAS in Middle East, like STAR system in Australia. There is many rating system, and also in Hong Kong and the Asian one, there is also a rating system. It's the beam. They say the beam, BEAM plus. It's a Hong Kong Green Building Council that implementing a building rating system through LEED Platinum. So why it's not enough? Because the rating system, it's not really tackling and questioning to bring climate sensitive design. And that's the responsibility of designer and engineer to provide a design quality based on generic tools and based also on aspiration for each building we are working on. That's why we have to make the design contribute to the green and climate sensitive design. We have to make aspiration for that and implement for that to make the green building succeed to this mission. And also about rating system, we know that LEED has made a huge advance in rating system. This is the most famous rating system all over the world, green building. And there is also sustainability has become the norm by LEED, and at the same time it's become desirable for developers and selling tools also, because we sell this certificate, this LEED rating system. That's fine, okay, because it's a contribution. It's a contribution about sustainability, but rating have not significantly reduced carbon emission for building. If we make rating system for building to not contribute to the reduction of carbon emission, this is a waste. So we have to make these tools to contribute in terms of altering mindset when it comes to awareness of sustainability, like Paris Agreement, the famous Paris Agreement committed in 2015. So, but now it's up to architects and engineers and researchers and scientific to be more aspirational in this rating system and to level up and to come up to more own aspiration for each building and each type of construction. Because we can construct building where 50% of inhabitants can disconnect it from daylight and still get LEED Platinum. And this is not normal, because the rating system, it's not compatible with the climate sensitive design. So this is the issue, and I wanted to make resource of this issue. It's made it by the well-known Transolar Managing Director Thomas Orr. He contributed to this issue, and he's also contribute to building the first net zero energy building in Singapore, in campus in Singapore Kent Ridge campus, and designed also in collaboration with Transolar director. The Transolar director is Thomas Orr, to make things clear about the source of this building and the source of this issue. So let's move to some statistic. And huge and important statistic, by 2050 and 2070, there is 2/3 of the world population is going to live in cities. We know that it's gonna be a really huge amount. And if we take population growth year after year and month after month into account, we are talking about an average of 2 to 3 billion people. We have to build housing for it for the next 3 decades. So many population growth, many building have been made, have been constructed, will be constructed. So this is the issue. We have to balance between the two challenges, between urbanization and population growth, and between infrastructure and construction and building houses. So the future of green building is in our hands. We have to contribute to this future by going green, by fostering sensitivity, and also by raising awareness toward green building. So green building help to combat climate change, and the future of green building is popular and important in the last several decades, especially because the environment is reaching its limit, and more occupants look for spaces that are good for their health and are good for their life quality and the environment. And the pressure also to slow and reverse climate change is heating up. So green building are here to stay for the future and for the next generation, for the future decades and the next generation. So there are many opportunities to green building by new both old building or new building. We can restore old building and build new green building, especially with smart cities, especially with EOT technologies, with smart infrastructure. We can mainstream this future. So sometimes there is changes and involve deep retrofits, but we have to make a resilience, to build a resilience, to maximize this impact and contribute to an overall societal shift towards a healthier tomorrow. So this is the future of our building. And what's next? Green building can affect on climate change. Thank you so much. Gracias. شكرا جزيلا. Merci. And see you soon for next session and next green building world impact. Thank you. Bye bye.